Okay. Okay, make sure y'all can see me okay. So like I said, knees bent and feet planted. We're gonna be right here to get started today. I've got a little bit of space behind me on my mat. I've got some good stuff ready for us today. So I just wanna kind of get right into it. For this first one, as normal, we're gonna start with a little bit of breathing, and then we're gonna add a nice flow with the pace of our breath. So you'll be moving a little bit forward and backward with the torso. So making sure that the feet are planted out a little bit long, those knees are bent, and then we're just right up on those hips right here. All we're gonna do for this one is, like I said, flowing with the pace of our breath. So as you inhale, we're gonna place those hands behind, and we're gonna open up nice and big through the chest. And as you exhale, we're gonna fold the body forward, we're gonna place the torso onto the legs, and we're gonna round out through the spine. So kind of like that seated cat and cow that we do, but we're just with those knees bent and those feet planted. So a nice big inhale to pull those arms behind and open through the chest, and then a nice big exhale to bring it out, placing the torso down on those thighs and rounding out that spine in that opposite direction. And just moving with the pace of your breath here. So finding those nice big inhales and exhales, kind of getting started to get centered on your breathing today. And as always, if you're moving a little bit faster or slower than me, that's totally okay. Maybe we're all breathing at a little bit different of a rate today, especially to get started. And so with those inhales, I want you to really focus on pulling those shoulder blades together and opening through the chest. And with those exhales, I want you to think about relaxing through the spine and the neck and allowing it to kind of round out as if we were in that cat position, whether it's seated or hands and knees, just a few more. Taking two more nice deep breaths here, so twice more in each direction. And when you finish that second breath, just coming back to center, kind of an even centered spine there, sitting up kind of nice and tall. We're going to move into some spinal twists next. So same thing, we're going to connect our breathing with our movement. We're going to move our arms, and then we're going to find our side-to-side spinal twist. So with your inhale, you're going to sweep those arms up nice and tall, nice long spine. That's your reminder to lengthen up towards the ceiling. With our exhale, we're going to separate those arms. So I'm going to take my right arm forward and my left arm backwards. My right arm is going to come around to the outside of my left leg, and I'm just going to turn my torso in that direction. And then same thing with your inhales coming through center. Nice big lengthen here, and then exhale coming down in that opposite direction, opening up that chest. So same thing, just moving side to side with the pace of your breath. However deep that spinal twist feels for you today, feels good for you today, is great. So if you're bringing that opposite hand around behind, maybe you take an extra half second to find a little bit deeper the twist, up a little bit further. Just finding a couple here, same thing. Nice big inhale. All right, awesome. Go ahead and find one more in each direction for me. And then when you're finished, that one more big inhale through center, and then you can circle those arms down and around, bringing that torso back to facing the same direction as those knees. Okay, we're gonna work at that kind of dual purpose for this one. It's gonna be a little bit of core strength and lead us into our boat pose, but also we're gonna work on a little bit of hip range of motion here. Let's see, okay, I'm still moving. All right, we're good. I'm not frozen quite yet. Someone give me a yell. If I freeze, I should be able to hear. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, you've got the option to always bring those hands behind you and use them as a little bit of a prop back here. But to engage that core, I encourage you to try and just find that little bit of an angle with the torso, bringing it right here, and then just not using those hands for as much of this as you can. So I'm going to bring you up by your side here. We're going to do a single leg extension to figure 4. So I'm going to take my right leg out long onto my mat and just leave it right there for this. I'm going to move with my left leg first. So I've still got this little bit of an angle with my torso. I'm going to lift that foot up off the floor and pull it in towards me. So this is kind of where the core and the hip flexor strength comes in here. From this position, I'm going to lengthen this leg as far as I can. So I'm kind of tight today, so it's not getting a lot of length. And then I'm going to pull it back into right where I was. I'm going to do that 3 times. So finding this position, finding that little bit of length as much as you can, finding a little bit of shake at the edge of my range of motion, that's okay. 3 nice and controlled, extending that leg up, and then bringing it back in. I've got 1 more. If you need a little break, you can sit up nice and tall. If you're ready to move next, we're going to go into a figure 4. So we're trying to use just the flexion of the leg. We're trying to use just that internal rotation of the leg. So I'm going to lift it up just a little bit so that my foot is above my leg. And then I'm just going to turn it in as if I'm coming towards that figure 4 stretch, and then extend it back out to right where I was. So just kind of moving that foot in towards that opposite side of the body, and then back out to length. So it almost comes across my center line. And maybe your range of motion is just a few inches here. It's okay. It's always something that we can work on. Activating through that. Give me 1 more of those wherever you are. When you're done with that last one, bringing it into that figure 4, I want you to let that leg take a rest. We're going to switch sides. So this time I'm lengthening my left leg. Same thing, we're going to do 3 of those extensions. So pulling this one in, kind of sitting back on those hips, that torso engaged, and then we're going to find those 3 lengthens. Bringing it up and open, and then back into that nice knee bend. Starting to feel this through my core for sure. There was my 3rd. When you finish it again, you can sit up nice and tall if you need to for that little core break, or we can bring it right into that figure 4. So extending my foot up a little further, and then I'm just going to bring it in across my center line, and then back out to nice and deep. So opening in through that hip flexor, and then back in. 2 more of those. In towards that center line. Back out, and then we've got 1 more of those in and back out. When you finish that last one, I want you to go ahead and set that down. Bring that torso up, maybe give it a little side to side, shake it out. Give that core a tiny little break. We're going right back into it though, so don't worry if your core wasn't tired yet. We're going to keep going. As always, if your core was tired, you have that option to bring those hands behind. Now this time we're going to alternate. So we're going to do 3 total of each. So I'm going to bring it back. I've got this leg in. So like I said, alternating, I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go into that figure 4 for 3. And then we're going to find an assist after those first 3. So I'm going to take my opposite hand. I'm going to use it to bring it up, and then I'm going to use it to bring it in for a little assist. So we've got an extension up of the power of our hip, and then in, and then that assist up, and then grabbing the outside of that foot and pulling in. We're going to do 3 of each of those. So if you did all of the unassisted ones first, totally okay. Just move to those assisted ones. Up and in, and I've got 1 more set of each. If you finish those 3 already and you want to switch that leg, you can get right into that second side, that alternating. Oop. And sometimes I talk and get distracted and lose count. Okay, so I'm just going to switch sides. Same exact thing on that second leg, finding that little bit of an extension through the spine. We're going to alternate here. So we've got that up and in unassisted. And then that assist from that opposite hand, opening up, nice little stretch, and then pulling across for that big. Trying to engage that core, and then find that stretch through that hip flexor. And I've got 1 more of each, 1 unassisted, and then 1 assisted. When you're finished there, taking those legs out long, giving them a little shake, giving that torso a little bit of a break. Take just a second here. And then up next, we're going to take all of that into account. First of all, we've got our boat pose, and then second, we'll find that figure 4 stretch laying down. So for our boat pose, we're going to go right into that. We're going to find a couple second hold. So wherever you are, I want you to bend those feet, or bend those knees plant those feet, and then we're going to bring it back into that nice lean, into that 45-degree angle. Point those arms forward so the fingertips face that opposite wall, and then wherever you are, lifting those feet up, you can bring them to bent legs, you can bring them to straight legs. We're going to hold here. So when you get there, go ahead and join me. Give me a couple second hold. I'll count us out of it, so stay here as long as you can. If you have to come out of it or tap those toes down, come back into it when you're ready. We're going to stick here for another 10 seconds. If you need a little extra challenge, you can lean it back a little further or extend those legs if those knees are bent for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and plant and roll it back so that that back comes down onto the mat. All right, so like I said, we've got our figure 4 stretch, so that muscle that we activated pulling the leg across the center line, go ahead and take that left leg, cross it over that planted right knee, pull that knee in towards the chest, give it a nice stretch. We're just going to find about 5 seconds here, and then we're going to move on. And then right here, go ahead and switch it up. So I'm going to take that right ankle, I'm going to cross it over that left leg, pulling it across that center line. Nice stretch in my figure 4. All right, and then go ahead and plant both of those feet. I'm going to bring it up to seated for a second here. So you've got 2 options, a little recovery. If you've got carpet underneath you and you want to join me for rolling, or if you're comfortable on the hard floor, you can roll. We're going to be rolling like a ball. If you don't have a soft surface underneath your mat, you're welcome to just lay it down, bring those knees in towards the chest, and roll in nice little circles just to get a little massage for the low back. So from here, we're just going to take a second in a nice recovery pose. I'm going to pull those knees in towards the chest, and then I'm just going to roll forward and backwards, so bringing it down to my mat, and then back up to that seated position. Just a couple of times, getting that nice little bit of a rock and roll back and forth, moving it side to side. If you don't quite get up and you come right back down, that's totally okay. Just keeping it going. Like I said, if you don't have that soft surface, if you just want to be here for another couple of moments, you're welcome to just keep it on the back and keep those knees going in nice little circles or side to side. We'll be in whichever of those 2 options for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whenever you're done with that last one, go ahead and roll it onto the mat. Take those feet straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring a little bit of core work into today, and then we're going to get our assisted shoulder stand. Oh, my mom called this. Still have a home phone, so if you could hear that ringing in the background, that's what's going on there. We're going to start with our leg lowers. So we've already got our core nice and warmed up. So you can take those hands out nice and wide, or you can pull them under those hips. We're just going to do 5 leg lowers here. If those knees are slightly bent, that's totally okay. We're bringing those feet down, nice and easy, and then back up towards the ceiling, trying to keep that lower back nice and stable, pressed on the floor. Just finding 5 of those. So this is my second of 5. There's 3. I've got 2 more. When you finish your 5, just take those feet straight up towards the ceiling again. We're going to move right on and keep it going. So up next, we're just going to find a little hip lift. So not coming all the way up into our shoulder stand yet, but just finding a little lift off the floor. So trying not to use too much momentum. Maybe use those hands for a little support. Just bringing those hips up just a little bit, and then nice and controlled back down to that once again with that 5. So just coming up and back down. If you don't quite have that, you can use a little momentum. You can bring those feet down and bring it up off the floor with a little bit more momentum to come up. I've got 2 more here. And the last one. Okay, so up next, we're going to do our assisted shoulder stand. We've got a couple more of those hip lifts. Feel free to finish those out. From here, if this assisted shoulder stand isn't quite right for you, you can always step it back, keep that core work going with the leg lowers, or you can find those hip lifts to start to build up that core strength. But our assisted shoulder stand, we're going to take those hips up towards the ceiling. We're going to take those feet up towards the ceiling. Our hands are going to come around under and support our hips. And we're going to try and get those legs as long as possible. So from here, we're going to do that same hip lift, but you're going to kind of catch yourself. So having those hands ready, we've got that hip lift, and then I'm going to bring my hands right to my lower back here. So my elbows are supporting me underneath on the ground. My hands are on my lower back, and then just trying to extend up towards the ceiling. Now you can use this for a little bit of core work. You can come down if this is a little too much pressure on the neck. Or if plow is in your practice, You're welcome to find your plow today, bringing those feet up over the head, bringing those knees down to either side of the ears, and those hands down to the floor. If that's a little intense for your back, you're welcome to stay up in that extended shoulder stand or assisted shoulder stand, or you can find a couple more leg lowers if that's where you are. Whichever of those works for you, we're going to stick here for another 10 seconds. So keeping on breathing, if you're in that shoulder stand, trying to extend up a little further. If you're in that plow, maybe walking those hands out a little bit longer or up overhead to meet those toes for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you're up here, I want you to try and roll it down as slowly as possible. If you're in that plow, bringing it back over, and then just pulling those knees in towards the chest for just a moment, finding a nice rock side to side, giving that back a little bit of recovery, giving that core a little bit of a recovery. We're going to find a spinal twist next. So we're going to give that core a little break, and then we're going to move it on. We're going to change up our positioning. So what I want you to do is bend those knees and plant those feet. Once again, we're taking those arms out nice and wide. We're going to take that right foot or that left foot and cross that ankle just slightly over that right knee. And then both legs are going to go down towards the right side. So my left foot's crossed over. We're going down to the right. And I'm going to look over that left shoulder. So nice spinal twist here. Finding this for just a couple of moments. And then go ahead and bring it through center. And we're just going to switch up those legs. So my right ankle is crossing over my left knee. And then both are going to come down in that opposite direction, looking over that right shoulder. Nice. Couple nice deep breaths there. All right, and then like I said, we're going to change up that position a little bit. So go ahead and bring those knees up to center. And then however is best for you, we're going to roll it over to hands and knees up next. So you can roll to one side and you can flip completely over. You can roll it up and over those knees, whatever works for you to bring it over to hands and knees. Go ahead and make that transition here. When you get to hands and knees, we're going to take just a moment in cat and cow. So once those shoulders are over those wrists and those hips are over those knees, we're going to find our inhale to drop the belly towards the floor and lift the chin. We're going to find our exhale to round out that spine towards the ceiling and tuck the chin in towards the chest, taking just a couple of moments here to reconnect with your breath. Give me 2 more nice deep breaths in our cat and cow, getting that spine moving again, a couple of different directions. And then when you finish that second deep breath, coming back to a nice neutral spine. And then we're going to turn to face the long edge of our mat. We're going to come up to those knees. So trying to find kind of a centered position on your mat, up on those knees. So those hips are right over the knees, so they're a little bit wider than right next to each other. We're going to start with just the lateral stretch here. So give me a big inhale, bring those arms out and up. Find that left wrist with that right hand, and then go ahead and come just slightly up over top. Now, if it's comfortable for you and you have that flexibility on that right side, you can bring that hand down to the mat and open up. But if you get there and it's not quite comfortable, I invite you to just stay right here. We're going to hold on this side for another 3, 2, and 1. Give me a big inhale through center. And then switch sides. Same thing, other side. Once again, you can stay up tall here in this pose, or if it feels good, you can come down towards that side, finding a little bit more of an opening with that right side. For 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale to center, big exhale, circle those arms down. All right, we're going to move to our gate pose up next. So I'm going to shift just slightly to my right side. My left leg is going to start by coming out to the side. So right here, my toes are pointing towards that side of the mat. This left leg is out long. Still, my right knee is right underneath my right hip. So we're going to start in our gate, which is going to be towards that long leg. The thing that I really want to stress here is that you're not putting all of your body weight onto this knee. We're not hyperextending the knee. We're just using it as support. So you still want to use your core to stay nice and long. I'm going to take my right arm. I'm going to big inhale, sweep it up over top, and then I'm going to find that left leg for, like I said, just that little bit of support right here. So if there's a lot of pressure downward on your knee, just lift up that hand and see if you can maintain this positioning without using any of that pressure. We're just using this for that little bit of balance. Finding this here. Big inhale, bring it up through center. So using your core, come up through center. We're gonna come down in that other direction. So right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top. We're really opening up through that opposite side hip. So same thing, we're gonna move a couple of times side to side here. With this inhale coming up through center, a little bit of core work. Exhaling down to that other side. Spending a nice deep breath here. With that next inhale, go ahead and come through center. We're just gonna switch it back and forth. I want you to find one nice deep breath on each side. So after that exhale to bring it down, you've got another inhale and exhale. And then with that following inhale coming through center, we're gonna find one super in each direction. That exhale brings you down to the left. One inhale and exhale here. That following inhale comes up through center, and then we exhale down to the right. So that right hand's down on the floor, that left hand's up over top. I want you to hold here for a moment. Now we're gonna take this up in intensity and find our side plank. If you've got any kind of wrist pain or instability, what I want you to do here is just shift this knee sideways just slightly and bring it down to that elbow. If you want to find a little bit more challenging, we're staying up on that hand. I'm going to turn this foot so that the toes face this long side of the mat towards you guys. And then what we've got here is our side plank 2 options, or 3 options. You can leave this knee down and open up right here. Second option is extending this foot out. We're finding our support. Third option is just lifting this bottom knee, using those inner thighs, and finding that a little bit of a strength here through those legs. Holding in any of those options for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that knee back down, finding that support, and then we're just going to walk those hands down through center, and then bring that left knee in to meet that right. Go ahead and bring it back up to nice and tall, and we're just going to switch sides. Need a little extra side, or a little extra space on that opposite side. Go ahead and find it. We're going to extend that other foot out. Again, we're going to start with the toes pointing towards that short edge of the mat. We're going to start in that direction of that long leg. I want you to find that big inhale, bring those arms out and up, and then we're going to bring it up over top, and then bringing it down to that leg. So once again, that little bit of support here. We're bringing it up here. With your next big inhale, I want you to bring it through center over in that other direction. Up through center, over to that other side. We've got that nice big stretch here. Same thing, we're gonna keep flowing just a little bit. So next big inhale brings it up to the center. Exhale comes down onto that leg. A little bit of support, nice deep inhale and exhale here. With that next inhale coming up through center. Exhale down to the other side. Inhale and exhale right here. Next big inhale for center. One more time in each direction for me. Bringing it down to that long leg side. On that next big inhale, last time through center. Exhale down to that opposite side, down to the mat. Now once again, we're going to find our side plank. So turn those toes to face the long edge of the mat. Again, if you need to find that elbow, you can shift this knee in just a little bit and bring it down to the elbow. Finding any of those options for a side plank right here. You've got that knee down, you've got that foot long, or you've got that knee up towards that top leg. We're going to hold here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release that knee. Walk those hands down through center. We're going to find just 2 cycles of cat and cow here. So if you want to turn to face that mat, you can, or if you want to stay right where you were, you can. And just finding 2 nice deep inhales and exhales here. We've got that inhale to drop the belly towards the floor. We've got that exhale to bring that spine up towards the ceiling. All right, so from here, after those 2, I want you to bring that spine back to center. We're going to get moving with a little bit of a flow to finish out today. First thing that I want you to do is we're going to find our down dog. So we're going to spend a couple moments in this because we haven't been in it yet today. Curling those toes under, and then go ahead and press those hips up and back. taking, like I said, a couple of moments. Maybe you'll walk those heels out, finding that nice stretch through the calves and through the hamstrings. Maybe you shake the head yes or no. Taking a couple of moments to find this nice stretch here. Awesome, you guys look great. Okay. All right, so we're gonna find, like I said, our little flow. First thing we're gonna do is find our chair. So from this down dog, stepping or walking or jumping those feet up towards those hands, we're gonna meet them at the top of that mat, finding our forward fold. From this position, we're going to take just a moment here, but I want you to walk those big toes right next to each other. The heels can have a little bit of space between them. And then all we're going to do is find our chair for a couple of moments. So I want you to sit those hips back, and then with that next big inhale, sweep those arms up towards the ceiling, finding that nice long spine. Like I said, sitting the hips back as if we're sitting down into a chair. So we're just going to start to wake our legs up a little bit. So we'll find a couple of modifications for this today to take it up a notch. For any of those, you're always welcome to just find this chair to keep it right here as we move forward. We're finding this for another 3, 2, and 1. Give me a big inhale to stand up tall. Exhale to bring those arms down and around back to our forward fold. Up next, go ahead. We're going to plant those hands and step those feet back into our high plank position. From there, we're pushing it up and back into our down dog. Taking just another moment here. And then we're going to find our little flow. So our half sun salutation A. From this down dog, big inhale to bring that spine up nice and tall, bringing the hips up a little bit higher. Exhale, we've got 2 ranges of motion. We're floating the shoulders out over the wrists. And then either from those toes or from those knees, we're lowering down. Big inhale to bring it up. You've got Cobra, low Cobra, or up dog. Any of those options, just bringing the chest up towards the front of that room. Exhale, turn those toes over, press those hips up and back, down dog. We're going to find that one more time here. Big inhale, nice long spine. With your exhale, 2 ranges of motion. Shoulders come out over the wrists, chaturanga down towards the floor. And then an inhale, up dog, Cobra, or low Cobra, turning those toes over. Exhale to turn the toes over once again. Press those hips up and back, down dog. We're going to bring those feet back towards the hands, so stepping or jumping them forward, whichever is in your practice. I want you to bring those big toes nice and close together once again, and we're going to find our chair, like I said, one more time here. So sitting those hips back with that next inhale, bring those arms up. Now, if you want a little challenge, I'm going to give you a nice modification here. If you want to stick right here, you're welcome to stay right in this chair. For that challenge, we're going to keep those hips low, and we're going to bring it back to a crescent lunge. So I'm going to bring all of my weight onto my right foot and lift my left foot up off the floor. From here, I'm just going to nice and slow step that left foot back into my crescent lunge, and then just find a moment up in this nice high crescent lunge, lifting the chest up towards the front of the room. With your next exhale, you're going to just tilt forward. Really shift that foot forward, or that weight forward onto that first foot, and then bring that other foot forward to meet it. If you are in that chair, or if you found that crescent lunge, with your next inhale, bring it up towards the ceiling. Exhale to forward fold. Taking just a moment here in that forward fold. All right, we're going to find that chair. We're going to change that leg if you found that upward modification. So right here, go ahead and sit those hips back. Sweep those hands up. We've got our chair. Once again, you can hold right here, or if you want that little challenge, I'm going to shift my weight onto my left foot, lift my right up, step it back into that crescent lunge, lifting that chest up for just a moment. And then we're going to bring it right back, that little bit of a forward fold, shift my weight forward onto that foot, bring it back to that chair. Again, either of those options, big inhale to stand it up nice and tall, big exhale to forward fold. We're going to find our sun salutation. So from right here, I want you to plant those hands, step those feet back to that high plank, and then push those hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Taking just a moment here, and then we're going to move back to that lower sun salutation flow. Big inhale, nice long spine. With your next exhale, float those shoulders out over the wrists and lower down, chaturanga. from those toes or from those knees. Inhale to press up. Once again, you've got low cobra, cobra, or up dog. And then with that exhale, turn those toes over, press those hips up and back. We're going to do that once again one more time. Big inhale, nice long spine. Exhale to float those shoulders out over the wrists and lower down. Inhale to press up, cobra, low cobra, or up dog. Exhale, turn those toes over, press those hips up and back. All right, one more time, we're gonna step those feet forward to meet those hands. Bringing those toes nice and close together. We've got another chair coming at us. We're gonna add a twist this time for our challenge. So with that inhale, I want you to sit those hips back and bring those arms up. Now, once again, you can stay right here, or you can find that challenge. We've got our twist, so I'm gonna bring my palms together up overhead. I'm gonna pull them down to heart center. Taking my right elbow, I'm going to find my spinal twist by bringing it to the outside of my left leg and stacking those hands right on top of each other. Trying to keep those hips low. Now, if this isn't right for you, you can always keep it right in that chair. Keeping those hips low, once again, with that inhale, go ahead and bring it back to center. With your next big inhale, I want you to stand it up nice and tall. Give those legs a little break, and then forward fold. Same as we did with that lunge option, we're going to find this one more time so that we can hit that other side. Same as before, you can just find that chair pose if that's what works with your next inhale. Sit those hips back, sweep those arms up. Once again, we're going to find that twist as your option. You can keep it right here. You can pull those palms together, bring them down to heart center. My left elbow is going to come around to the outside of my left leg to find my spinal twist. My right leg. That's directions are hard. All right. Same thing here with that next inhale, we're coming back to center, keeping those hips low. And then with your next big inhale, go ahead and stand it up nice and tall, and then bring those arms down and around for our forward fold. We've once again got our low sun salutation A twice through. So go ahead and plant those hands, step those feet back, high plank to down dog. With that next big inhale, a little bit of extra length. Exhale, float those shoulders out over those wrists and lower down from the toes or from the knees. Inhale to press up. We've got cobra, low cobra, or up dog. Exhale, turn those toes over, press those hips up and back. Same thing one more time through. Big inhale, nice long spine. Press those hips up and back. Exhale to float those shoulders out over those wrists and lower down. Inhale to press up, cobra, low cobra, or up dog. Exhale to turn those toes over, press those hips up and back. All right, taking a second here. And then when you're ready, go ahead and step those feet or jump those feet forward to meet those hands. All right, so we're gonna find our eagle pose next. So we're gonna start it from our chair. Once again, go ahead and bring those big toes nice and close together. And those heels can be just a little bit apart still. I want you to sit those hips back, and with that next big inhale, go ahead and sweep those arms up. All right, so from here, if at any point in this you need to stand up a little bit taller to get that foot around, feel free. I'm gonna start with my right leg. So all I'm gonna do is shift my weight onto my left, and then I'm gonna cross that right leg over my left leg. So I've got my legs crossed. Now, if you have the extra range to bring the toe around behind and find that balance there, you're welcome to. Since I started with my right leg on top, my right arm is gonna go underneath. So I'm going to take my right arm underneath my left, and then I'm going to try and bring it so that my palms face each other here. We're going to find this hold. Once again, if you need to stand up a little taller to give that leg a little break, or if you need to tap that toe down to find the balance, totally fine here. We're going to find this for another 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, uncross those arms, uncross those legs. Inhale to bring it up. Exhale to fold it forward. All right. Last challenge, all we've got here is going to be that eagle on our other side. So our last chair here, I promise you, with that next inhale, we're going to sit those hips back. We're going to sweep those arms up. I am nice and toasty. I'm warm. I've been moving. This is great. We've got our eagle on the other side. I'm lifting my left leg up. I am shifting my weight onto my right. I'm crossing my left leg over. Once again, you can wrap if you have that. My left leg is on top, so my left leg or my left arm is going to come underneath and wrap around. I know I'm working hard because I don't have the words for this today. All right, so once again, we've got this. You can always stand up a little taller if that leg needs a break. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwrap those arms, unwrap those legs. Inhale to stand up tall. Exhale to fold forward. Awesome work, you guys. All right, what do we got? We got 3.5 minutes left. So from our forward fold, I want you to plant those hands and I want you to just step that right foot back. Our right foot comes back right here. We're going to end with a nice stretch. You've got 2 options. You can find this for a spinal twist, or you can drop that back knee for a spinal twist. Either way, your right arm is going to stay down. Your left arm is going to sweep up towards the ceiling. We're opening our chest towards that left wall. Now, again, you've got 2 options from here, whether your knee is up or down. You can take it just holding right here, or you can find a little flow with your breath to finish out. Your inhales are going to bring you up tall. Your exhales are going to curl you under, bringing that hand between and through. So again, you can flow here, bringing it up and back down, or if it feels good today, you can just find that nice hold in our spinal twist on this side for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to plant both of those hands. We're going to step that left foot back to meet the right, briefly finding our down dog. And then that right foot's going to come forward into that lunge. So once again, that back knee can stay up or that back knee can come down. Either way, that left hand is going to stay on the floor. That right arm is going to open up with that nice big inhale. And once again, you can stay right here, or you can find that nice flow with your breath, finding those inhales and exhales with that moving spinal twist. Couple moments right here. We're going to stay in any of those 4 options for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and plant both of those hands. Step that right back to meet the left. Last down dog of our practice. Drop those knees down nice and wide. Bring those feet close together. Sit the hips back towards the heels. All right, awesome work, you guys. So from here, we're just going to transition to comfortable seated. So if you'd just like to sit up from where you are onto those knees and bring the hips back to the heels, that's fine. If you want to drop those feet to the side and swing them around, or just leave them right here, wherever is fine. We're just going to finish with our final nice deep breath today. If you want to take a couple of minutes for a final relaxation shavasana after this, I'd recommend legs up the wall pose, because I think that would feel really great today. It's always a great option to take. Finishing our practice today with one nice deep breath, leading with those arms. Big inhale, bringing it out and up. Finding the palms together at the top. Exhale to bring them down to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Bowing as we say, namaste. Wow, words were really hard for me today. Oh.